Today I'm joined by the delightful Candy Nicholson. Thank you for joining us today,
Hello.
Candy. And we're going to be doing invitation and favours, aren't we, for
right,
weddings?
yes.
Brilliant. So we've got 2 in 1 today. Which ones are we going to start with?
We're going to start with making some favours. Now, I've brought a really posh piece of kit today.
I know this isn't our normal sort of Pritt stick
No.
and glue, is it? We've got something a little bit more high-tech today.
What I've brought is a Cricut machine, which is the latest generation of digital die cutting.
It looks like a time machine or something. That's very complicated.
Well, if I tell you that that would make this.
Okay. That's beautiful. And that's a little handbag, isn't it?
It's a little handbag, and obviously for weddings you can put your sweeties inside.
Lovely. And we've got some of my favourite sweeties.
We
in
have
there as
got
well.
some little sweets, which halal approved as well.
Brilliant. So perfect for everything. So not just
Yes.
weddings, is it? This is something we've
No.
found a lot with the wedding season.
That's
Although
it.
that is what we're focusing on. You can use favours for anything, for parties, birthdays, anniversaries, bar mitzvahs, anything you wanted.
Well, that's it. And because we can do it in different sizes, different colours, you can cater it to your colour scheme and your theme, anything like
Well, that's
that.
the thing. If you're doing it yourself, then you've got complete creative control, haven't you? So you don't have to worry too much about going for the cheaper option because you are essentially the one that's creating it completely from scratch.
Yeah. So, coming on to this, right, it has a little cartridge here. If I just turn that round, there's a little cartridge, and stored on the cartridge there is lots and lots of images. Now, we tell it exactly what we're going to do, what size we want to cut it, and there's lots of different variations in the book. And if I show you, we can make tags in it.
So do you just feed the card through and then that will get you the exact sort of dimensions you need to then make the appropriate boxes and so forth? Let's turn it round a little bit now.
We can do it in all different sizes.
Can I ask why it's called a Cricut?
I have no idea.
Does it make a cricket sound?
No, there's a little Cricut logo on it. I'm just seeing if there we are.
Okay.
Little Cricut
I thought there might
logo.
be some sort of technical reason why it's called a Cricut, but it's just just one of those things.
It's made by Provocraft, and there's lots of different cartridges you can use. With your cartridge, you get that, your overlay, and your book, and then you're away and off you go.
Fantastic. Now, how much one of these retail at approximately? Because
approximately over £200.
Right, so that is quite pricey, but then it will last what, a lifetime?
It will last you a lifetime.
Investment.
Yeah. Your cartridges are about 50, 60, depending on where you get them from.
Okay.
I mean, I always look for a bargain, see if there's one on offer. But once you've got it, in the olden days when we wanted to cut out a shape, we could only do it to one size.
Right.
What we have with this is the facility to cut it from tiny up until fit the page.
Fantastic.
So,
and you get your use out of it. You can use it for cards and everything throughout the year, which are pricey anyway. So
well,
you
in
are
actual
saving money.
fact, my board behind us, everything on there is made on the Cricut.
Brilliant. So it's multi-purpose. Right, let's get down to doing some. So I'm very excited.
We'll pop this one in.
Where do you get these cards from as well? Is this just standard card?
This is quite a special card. If I just rip a corner, it's actually got a texture inside.
Right.
So if you were distressing or anything like that, but I find because it's got a texture to it, it's quite nice for these.
Okay,
but it will cut, and in fact you can get an extra deep blade for it, so you can cut acetate, balsa wood, tile, all sorts of things.
Okay, so let's have a look at how that works.
So we're going to load it in. Makes a little noise.
It's a little bit like a cricket noise. Maybe.
Right, and if I put repeat last, which is one of these.
Okay.
Repeat last, and it's saying it's a popcorn box. So we'll press cut, and I've put it on fit to page, and it's just going to start cutting for us.
Wow, it's quite exciting. I spent hours doing something like this, just putting on all your different digits.
It's so fantastic. I mean, we could do tiny little ones, we could do big ones.
Brilliant. And like we say, it's a good lifetime investment, but even if you are doing something like a wedding invitations, wedding favours can get so expensive anyway. If you're doing something like that, you're probably still going to end up saving money.
You would, because something like this, I mean, the mats are sticky. You get 2 in a pack, I think, for £8.
Right.
So they last me quite a while. I've got a few with me, so we're pre-prepared, really.
Yeah. And if you've got quite a few weddings coming up in the family, if you've got 3 daughters, for example, then you know one of these you can use over and over again.
So then we'll press unload paper.
Okay.
Okay, now we'll do the big reveal. And if we pull it...
Can we see that? Can we hold that to the... So pulling it away.
There we go.
Brilliant.
And what we're left
happens
with,
to that then? Is that just waste, or can we reuse that in other ways?
I would probably use it for little cutting out shapes and
Brilliant.
things.
Okay.
So if we peel this now off, there we go. And I'll just put the protective sheet on that because that's sticky.
So you can
we don't want
reuse it.
Sticky. Oh yeah, these get used a lot.
Very good.
So that's the outline of our little box. Now what I'm going to do is score down the lines. There's a little cut out bit there as well. And score down, and then we'll be able to fold it together. Now you don't necessarily need to use a scoring tool for this, it's just, this is the way I work.
Okay. Now, while you're doing that, Candy, what sort of things do you put in these favours? Obviously, sweets is traditional. I know in British weddings we have sort of sugared almonds and things like that. But I've actually been at a wedding where they put some bath salts in and bath bombs and things like that. So, is there any current trends at the moment, sort of what people are going slightly towards the unusual, or are they sticking with tradition?
I think with the whole, there is quite a big sweet explosion. I mean, I've noticed it with the shop.
Yeah.
And people are more into their sweets at the minute than ever before.
And they're not too pricey sweets, are they either? So it's a lovely idea. Everybody likes sweets, and especially if you can get some gluten-free ones as well for our Derek. So it's something that can appeal, you know, to absolutely everyone, and you don't have to worry too much.
Well, that's it. I mean, one of the things nowadays, because of special dietary needs, I mean, we particularly will make sure that we have gluten-free, we have sugar-free, we have halal-approved, we've got natural colours and flavours. So we try and cater for everybody.
Brilliant. So how long would it take to sort of, obviously you've been talking us through, which does take a little bit more time, but if you have got a big batch to do, as we say, like a wedding, how long do you need to keep aside to do it? I
would say, you know, I'm not sure really. I mean, you can see how long it took to cook one. Obviously, you'd have a bit of a production line going.
And the first one always takes a bit longer, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's something as well you could do maybe to keep yourself busy when you're sort of watching TV in the evening. You know, once you've done a few, I'm sure it'll just become second nature. So you can just, you know, get through them in the evening when actually you're resting as well.
Well, that's it. I mean, you'd be doing it with the family. You'd have a bit of a production line going.
I think it'd be quite nice, especially weddings. It's such a family environment, particularly sort of the Asian culture. It really is a big family affair. It's nice to sort of have that sense of achievement if you've actually created what's on the table, if you've actually had a direct input. I think that's a lovely idea.
So what I want to do is put a bit of, now at home ideally I would use a wet glue and leave them overnight.
Okay.
Just for speed.
Well, I love double-sided tape because it's so much easier, isn't it? Yeah. So you don't have to put clips in to keep a thing together.
No.
It just works very, very quickly.
But I say at home, I would advise you do a stronger glue than this.
Okay.
I mean, there is some double-sided which is a lot stronger than just your normal standard, and obviously I'd suggest you do that. Especially once you're going to put sweets in them. Because,
sweets can be quite heavy. It's quite deceptive, isn't it? They can be heavier than you anticipate.
Oh, yeah, trust me.
There we are. So you're just going to assemble that together.
Yep. Put another blob on here. And also a little tip, if you're using a glitter card, which is what this is.
I don't know if the viewers can see how glittery that is, but it really does catch the light. It's very pretty. There we are.
You would actually need a stronger glue anyway.
Right. Is that because of the texture?
Yeah.
Okay, so it doesn't it
doesn't stick as
so
well,
easily.
no. So all I'm doing is sticking little bits on where we've got the folded bit.
Okay.
I mean, it comes really clear. Once you actually pop it out, you can see really well. So I'm just...
So in your expert opinion, Candy, obviously like we've discussed there what can go in them, but have you noticed any trends on the colours outside, on the sort of shapes? Like, so you've got a little handbag here to show, which is very, very girly, so I think that'd be great, not just for a wedding, but also for, you know, a lady's birthday party, an 18th, 21st, you know, people having sort of all sorts of parties going on. So things like that. But for weddings, is there any typical traditional shapes, or is it still...
No, I mean, I think as far as colours go, particularly in the Asian community, red and green, red and gold seem to be very, very prominent.
Very popular. Yeah. And that's a theme that runs through the clothing as well, and the table decorations, as we've seen through lots of our different segments. You know, they are the two predominant colours, so it's nice to sort of tie that all in together.
So I'm just going to...
So is this a little popcorn box, did you say?
It is a little popcorn
box.
And actually we've got the little slits there that we're going to put some ribbon through.
Okay.
Like I say, the glue is not really strong enough as to what I'd normally use at home, but given for speed.
Yeah, well, even if it doesn't, you can't do it quite now as you would. It's just so we can get the idea.
There we go. So there we go. There's our little box.
Lovely.
Okay.
It's a bigger size than I expected, actually. Yeah.
But we could make a smaller one as well.
Yeah.